all of you know what open source is. A good number of you know what open source is. So Hacktoberfest is something that's coming up next month. So we will be having an event prior to that to introduce everyone to open source. We'll be starting from scratch so that no one's left out. So that's all about open source. Moving on to campaign events. Now, campaign events are something that's exclusive to GDSCs. Campaign events, a good example of a campaign event is 30 days of code, where you go over the duration of 30 days and you do hands-on sessions with a particular technology. For example, Google Cloud or the ML Explore program, right? And at the end of it, you do a series of challenge labs and you get a certification and some merchandise, some swags, if the program gives you. So that's all about campaign events. And the solution challenge, this is something I'm going to get into a little bit deeper in the next slide. So this is once again something that's very exclusive to GDSC members across the world. So basically, the solution challenge is a hackathon, right? It's a hackathon for members of GDSCs across the world. And as you can see from the slide, the mission of this solution challenge is to solve one or more United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And this year, in 2021, among the top 10 finalists, there were 2 teams from India, and one of the teams actually won the event. So you can Google, they made a project called Eye of God. I'm not going to get into that today, but you can Google it. It's amazing. You should check it out. So that's all about the solution challenge. But now a very important question that pops in all of your heads, I'm sure. All of this that I've spoken about till now, this is great, right? This is really cool. But why should you care? What is in it for you? Why would you join a community of such nature? The answer is very simple. There are a lot of benefits that you get by being a part of a GDS, right? Now, they're just getting started with, but not limited to, you get access to Google's learning resources. For example, as a part of campaign events, you're going to get resources, you're going to get access to platforms that you wouldn't normally get, or it would cost you a lot of money to get. So you would get access to them for free. For example, in 30 Days of Cloud, you get to work on challenge labs on Google Cloud platform. So you're actually working with the platform, you're learning from it without any further hassle. Apart from this, you get to increase your professional network tenfold. Google developer experts are a network of developers who have established themselves and have received recognition from Google. And they are very, very helpful, and they are always ready to give back to the community. And over this next year, you're going to be interacting with a lot of them. You'll be seeing a lot of them at these events. So you can stay tuned for that. That's going to be great. And of course, with events such as solution challenges, you can make something that, if it stands out, you can be featured by Google on their developers' website. Even if you don't feature for the solution challenge, there have been many stories where student groups have built solutions to solve problems in their country, especially from East Asia. There was a farmer who built an automatic system using machine learning, using TinyML, which helped solve a problem in his farm. And that became a massive story, which was featured by Google. And any of you could be doing that. It's not that difficult. It's just a matter of identifying a problem that's there, that needs to be solved, and getting on with it. And apart from all of this, of course, you get swags for doing events. We're gonna be having mostly virtual events this year. I would really hope to have physical events if possible, but even if we don't, we're going to be trying to have some swags and some merchandise for all of you in the events. So you can keep out a lookout for that. So now that you know a lot about what GDSCs are, let's have all of you join the event platform for the chapter. So I'm going to ask the moderators to paste the, sorry about that. Yeah. So I'm going to ask the moderators to paste the link for joining the chapter in the chat, if you can. And you can just open it in a new tab and join it. When you go to the new tab, you'll find a join button. You can just click on it, and then you're a member of this club. Can one of the core members confirm if the link is working? Then I'll move ahead.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, right? All right, great. So if you guys have joined, can you just write in the chat that I have joined? Just write that. All right, I see a lot of you guys joining in my backend as well. So great going, guys. Moving ahead, we're going to introduce the core members for this session, one after the other. So for GDSC RCCIIT, we have a number of different domains that we're going to be, a number of tech domains that we're going to be having. And I'm going to ask the leads of those domains to come one by one and introduce themselves and their teams. But before that, I'll just take a minute to introduce myself to all of you. So I'm Supratek. I'm from third year Department of IT, and I'm going to be your lead for this session. I'll be taking care of the club for the next year till about July 2022, and I have been working on a number of machine learning projects in the last 2 years. One of which also got into the finals of an international hackathon. In addition to this, as you can see by my Instagram handle, I'm also a musician. I play in a band in the city, and if the pandemic situation gets over, you'll probably be able to see me perform at a cultural fest or something. So that's about me, and I'm going to hand it over to the core team. So we're going to start off with the cybersecurity team, which is led by Shohit De. So Shohit, you can take it over from here.
Thank you for the introduction. I am Shohit De. I'm from CSE third year, and I'll be the cybersecurity lead for this GDSC. So what you can expect from this domain is particularly anything and everything related to cybersecurity, be it hacking, defensive and offensive as well. Because cybersecurity is a growing need in the modern day, we are going to have great time studying and learning the aspects and the importance of it in the current industry. Be minded that cybersecurity is one of the top and most coveted domains in IT right now. And I think with your help and some sessions together, we can have a great time doing all of this. So Supratek, can you move on to the next slide? Are you there, Supratek? Thank you. So we'll be studying different technologies belonging to the cybersecurity domain, which would include obviously operating systems in depth, like Linux, Windows itself, Mac OS, and all that. We are going to be studying about web proxies, disassemblers. We will also be doing some coding in the shell, as well as scripting languages like Python. And we are going to be doing a lot of other fun stuff. Okay, so we will have CTF events. I hope some of you did the CTF event I organized back in the Innovation, as well as RCCIIT. If you had fun, we are going to have more events like those. And we are going to be competing in international CTF events as teams Okay, and we'll also do brainstorming after the sessions, trying to figure out how we might approach challenges. CTFs are really great for cybersecurity learning because it's basically gamified hacking. And when we grind those things, we are going to have our core fundamentals established. All right. And aside from that, we are also going to be practicing some penetration testing methodologies on platforms like Hack the Box and TryHackMe. TryHackMe is a bit beginner friendly, so we'll start off with that and move on to the advanced ones like Hack the Box. I hope you can join my domain and have fun with me while we learn together. The way you join my domain is pretty simple. You message me with your competencies and skills. You can call me or DM me on Discord. I will be sharing my contacts as well in the chat very soon, as well as I will also be rolling out a Google form in the near future, which you can uh, go to and try joining this club. I hope you will have fun learning together. And moving on, I will pass the mic to the web and app lead, Soham Sarkar. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Sohit, for explaining the cybersecurity domain. And now, I would like to introduce you all to the web and app domain. Hello, this is Shoham Sarkar. Currently, I am a third-year undergraduate from Department of CSE, and I am a full-stack web developer intern at Imozo Labs Incorporated. And I will be the web and app team lead for the term. Now, websites and app have become an integral part of our life, be it browsing the web or binging on movies or anything. And we here at GDSC will learn to create those by efficiently using trending tools and technologies. Whether you are a complete newbie or somewhere in the middle of the path, we have got you covered. All you need is a bit of enthusiasm and persistence to deal with that error in line number 75. Sounds intriguing, right? We are having a lot of events queued up, like the open source contributions, workshops from external experts, tech talks, hackathons, and a lot more. The technologies which we will mostly learn are, uh, yeah, are Firebase, Android, Flutter, Google Cloud Platform, and others. Apart from this, we will be developing web apps in like React.js, Next.js, and also playing around with quite a bit of like languages and technologies. So hope to see you in there and work together. With this, I would like to invite Ahonda to introduce the ML and robotics domain. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am audible. Okay. Good morning everyone. Good evening, sorry. I am Mohan Bandapada, a final year student in the Department of EC from RCCIIT, and currently I am a robotics intern at CDAC, Kolkata. And I will be acting as the ML and robotics lead for this year. And the first question is, what is the track all about? The track is all about machine learning and its application and various techniques. And other than that, there will be robotics, its kinds and application. Both these topics are the hot topics in this decade, and as we are advancing in science and computation, which had helped in further development of these fields. Now, let me give some real-world scenarios or examples of where the machine learning and robotics are used. We have all heard about the Netflix or Google recommendation system. Like when we are searching the Netflix or YouTube, then we are watching a video and we will get a recommendation of the similar type of content. This is based on machine learning, so that you get a personalized view on the topics you like. Another example of machine learning can be the fast tag card that is being introduced in our toll tax system, where computer vision is used to recognize the unique code from the card and to deduct the money according to it. Some example of robotics may be the Boston Dynamics Spot robot that is used in advanced research, or like in education field. And another example of robotics is like drones and unmanned robotics. So these are the some a few of the examples of these fields. A combination of both these fields can be a Tesla car, that is an autonomous robot. Now, what can we expect from this field? By listening to these examples, you may be excited. So to do something big like that, you have to make small steps in the beginning. And joining the GDSC club may be the small step in the future that we'll be taking. By joining this club, you will get many advantages. The main activities of this club will be we will organize user or beginner friendly workshops and events. You will have brainstorming sessions. We will use different technologies for exploring these fields. Uh, so you can contact me through via WhatsApp or through LinkedIn to reach me, and you can uh, give me your details about the knowledge you have rather than and how excited you are to work in these fields. Thank you. Moving to the next speaker.
Thanks, Amanda. So, hi everyone. I am Shobhata Dash from CSC department, third year. I am a complete programmer and web developer. I have also contributed in open source under School Lab in GSOC 21. So here I am the CP lead of RCCIIT Tech chapter. So everyone present here like familiar with what is competitive programming. You guys already participated in a contest in a live, I think. So let me give a short info like what is CP, what is the benefit of that. So CP is where you compete with each other, your friends, your colleagues, or your the other college student, or all over the world to solve some problems within the time. Basically, it is a short contest or long contest kind of thing. In short contest, there will be some 4 or 5 problem, and you will given some 2-3 hours. And also in long contest, it is kind of learning platform where you learn the algorithm, learn the data structure, and apply on that problem. So you guys now thinking like what's the benefit of CP? Why should we do that? So first of all, it will improve your analytic skill, your quick thinking skill, because in contest you will be given some time limit, and the pressure you have to solve some problem. So it will definitely improve that part, your thinking problem. And the second is it will improve your DSS skill, because in the contest you will use the data structure, the algorithm, like bit manipulation or DP backtracking kind of thing. So it will definitely improve in that part. And the last is in the interview, in the technical round or coding round, it will definitely help you, because if you are familiar with report, like what is the solving some problem under the time limit you have, so it will definitely help you in that part. Okay. So next move to the agenda we have selected throughout the year, throughout the session will follow. Like first one will be the hands-on session. Like what we code along, like we'll like organize a workshop where the alumni or the other club members or the other student who have the knowledge of the domain will organize a session weekly or monthly where they'll teach you the lesson like DSA, like algorithm like backtracking, DP graph or structure, data structure like graph, tree. Okay. And the next is code along session where you will be participating with your friends, your juniors or your seniors by trying to find some solution of a problem. The second point is like second agenda will be uh, like we will be organizing some contest. Contest means short contest, because only learning is not a solution. You have to practice. So we'll keep you guys in practice by organizing the contest for 2-3 hours. You will be given some 3 or 4 problems, and you have to solve it within the time limit. So that's all the agenda. And now next move on to the like why should we join this domain, this CPE team? Okay, so first one I can say you can be a part of a bigger community, because it is not only for RCCIIT Tech chapter, it is also a part of your like whole GDSC, like all other the tech chapter under Google Developer Club. And the second benefit you will get is the exposure, the experience you get by organizing those events, participating in those events. You'll get some lifetime experience, exposure to real world. because in real world the experience matters the most. And the third one will be like you will gain some knowledge about your like technical skill. If you are an app developer or a like web developer or machine learning enthusiast, so you will definitely improve because by contributing in an open source project conducted by Google Developer Club, you will definitely improve that your technical skill, also your soft skill. And the last, you'll get some like already Supratek mentioned, you'll get some certificate from Google Developer Club or some like swags. So that's all about competitive programming domain. So next, move on to like Gautami. So all about you, Gautami.
Thank you so much, Shagato, and I hope I'm audible and visible. Hello, everyone. I'm Gautami Sinha, a student of CSC third year, and I'll be your PR lead for the session of 2021 to 2022. And talking about the PR team, it's all about public relations and outreach. In this team, you're going to widen your network. And in this team, you're going to get maximum exposure. And here, you will be able to meet a wide range of people, and you're going to come across a wide range of personalities as well. And you'll be able to socialize with many people and maybe build business relations, and which maybe in near future will help you to get referrals for jobs maybe. And if you come to the PR team, it will also help you to improve your communication skills, and it will also help you to stay up to date with every advancement of technology and of the club as well. And if you're looking forward to MBA after completing your BTech degree, then it, uh, coming to the PR team will actually help you, because in the PR team, you're going to learn about team management, team building, and other management skills. Also, another important aspect of the PR team is handling the social media. And as you all know, due to the COVID crisis, most of the things have shifted from the offline to online platforms. And over here, social media has played a really vital role. So, social media marketing will be a very important part of PR team as well. And in the PR team, you will be able to learn a lot of social media marketing strategies. So, if you're unaware of this, then let me tell you that there is several internship opportunities about social media marketing. And also for the PR team, we need video editors. I mean, come on, we need at least someone to visualize our imaginations. And lastly, we obviously need content writers and designers. Talking about content writers, I believe that many of you here love to blog or write articles, maybe technical or non technical, on platforms like maybe Medium, blogger.com. All that is going to help your team a lot actually. And talking about designing, I think many of you are new here, I mean, to engineering, and maybe you haven't chosen your domain right now. So why not start with designing? Who doesn't like to design? And here you'll be able to start from a very basic part. Like you can use online softwares like Canva, and if you're experienced, then you're welcome to use softwares like Illustrator and Photoshop and InDesign. And that will be all about the PR team. And I would like to end by saying that being in the PR team, you will not only showcase the talent of other domains, but you're also going to sparkle it a little bit with your talent. And thank you. Over to you, Supratik.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So, uh, one more thing I wanted to tell all of you that after listening to all the team leads speak, there's no need to be intimidated by them or by the technologies, because even if you're a complete beginner, you should join the team, because we're all learning here, and that's what peer-to-peer learning is. You teach and you learn. So do not hesitate the slightest before joining a team. You can always reach out to the team leads or anyone else in the team, and they'll always be ready to help you out. All right. So moving on, we're going to invite our faculty advisor, Mr. Arup Kumar Bhattacharjee of CSC department, to tell us a few words.
So, hello everyone. Everyone can hear me. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Also, I hope that no one can see me.
No, so we can't see you.
Okay, okay. So time and again, I'm just feeling like Mr. India. I hope everyone has seen that film of Anil Kapoor, right? So now the video is on. Yeah, great. So good evening, everyone. And so I feel honored to be the faculty advisor of this Google Developer Student Club of our college, and my best wishes to all the members of this club. And as I came to know from Supratek that even the previous batches also tried to open this chapter in our college, but only this year we got that approval from Google. Okay, so my congratulations to this core team. So they really well. So as it is explained by all of you, so this core team. Okay, so best wishes to all of you. Now, as I'm the faculty advisor, right? So I right, and teachers are always good in giving advice. Okay, so as long as you do not ask them to do anything, they are very good in giving advice. Okay, so I can give advice for next 1 hour. Okay, so I will not linger my speech. Okay, so maybe few minutes. So when I was hearing all of you, so I got 2 points. Okay, so that I would like to share. Okay, so especially to the core team, that you try to incorporate these 2 things. The second point, what I thought, it is quite easy for all of you. Maybe the first point you have to check whether you can put it within the periphery of this GDSC or not. So let me start with the first point, that see, actually I am in this college from 2006. Okay, and even before that I was in other college also. So in this college I am here for last almost 16 years, and from 2006, whenever our college arrange any coding class or technical class, especially for the that placement batch, right? So I was part of that team. Okay, so taking those classes, even in this pandemic. So last 1.5 years, I have taken 2 such classes. Okay, so what I have found, not only myself, it is found by all the teachers who used to take those classes. What I have found, that more than, if you make a survey, a small survey of our students, you will find that more than maybe 80%, if not more, maybe 90% students of our college, they want to join industry. Okay, so after completing their degree, maybe UG or PG, whatever you say, so they want to join some industry. But the problem, what we find, that up to 4th sem, 5th sem, our student, most of our students, they doesn't know that what the recruiters want. Okay, so I hope I can convey my message, that that our students, they know what they want, but they do not know how to achieve it. Okay, so they doesn't know that how to crack that interview. Okay, so so if we talk about those 80 or 90% of our students, what I want to suggest is, since I have seen one, that there is some bullet called Tech Talks. Okay, so what I can suggest is, if you can arrange some program where maybe some experts, senior faculty of our college, or maybe some expert from the industry, of course they should be associated with the placement or recruitment. Okay, if you can bring them, again I'm telling that it should be within the periphery of this club. I doesn't know whether it is within the periphery of this club. If it is, then you can arrange those programs especially for the year. Okay, so you might find in your class, especially the 3rd year students, you may find that up to 2nd year, most of the student doesn't know how to crack, what to study for the placement. Okay, so but instead, if we can if we can share those information, that you proceed in this way, especially for the 1st year, maybe after the 1st sem, when that CS paper starts. Okay, so I'm talking about the computer science. Okay, so for other electrical, electronics, of course you can arrange those programs also. So if you can arrange some program, maybe after 2nd sem, when they complete that introduction to programming, they will learn. If in some talk, if you explain what is pseudo code or something, how to write those programs, so once they complete that second semester program, they can easily, you can combine those things. Okay, so you can join your curriculum as well as how to, you can crack your interviews. Okay, so since it's a club, it's a platform which will help us. Okay, so another very important thing I missed, that everyone should enjoy. Okay, so in our days there was no such virtual clubs. Okay, so we have that physical club in our we used to call our para. Okay, so we enjoy that when we go to that club. So everyone, it is very important. So we have 132 attendees. Okay, so everyone should enjoy. Okay, so for that, the core team has to play a very important role, so that everyone should have their own share. Okay, so what I was telling, that you try to arrange some program so that they should know how to crack. Okay, so if it is possible, you can arrange those programs. So that is one important point. Okay, so this is about the 80 or 90% of the students. So if we talk about the remaining 10-15% students, so they are who want to go for the higher studies. Okay, so for those students, again, you can arrange some program where you can bring some expert, those who can highlight, right? So where to join after doing your undergraduate, or where you can go for your PhD for the postgraduate students. Okay, so where to apply, whether it is within our country or abroad. Okay, right? So for which subject, which university is better. Okay, what is the financial overhead for joining those courses. Okay, so what are the disadvantage of going to those places, especially after this pandemic. So you can arrange some program for those students also who may want to go for the higher studies. So this is one point. Another point I want to highlight, when I got this mail from our principal sir that I will be the faculty advisor of this club. So at that time only I came to know about this club. Okay, so even after that I got some information from Supratek also. So what I want to tell is that the existence of this club, or maybe some other clubs of our college, the most of the faculty and staff, they doesn't know. Okay, so so the problem is actually, it is not about the, if we have to spread the message that we have some club of this dimension in our college. Okay, so what I can suggest is you can make a flyer. Okay, so it's a very fundamental thing. Okay, so you can make a flyer where you can have some bullets about the role of this club. Okay, so you may have that link for joining this club, and maybe some video link, so that everyone can know what this kind of club do. Okay, so these things you can do. Arrange some event. Okay, again you create some flyer. Okay, so whenever you send a mail to the students, whether they are our member, they are not our member, you mail it to our HODs as well as to the administration as well. Okay, and you just convey it. Since we have students from more or less all the departments, you can just tell our HODs that please share it with all the other faculties and staff, so that everyone should know. Why I'm telling is, even though now we doesn't go outside, but usually we go to our university or maybe to other colleges for different programs, maybe for copy checking or maybe for some other seminar, conference, so that we can share it with the faculties of other colleges. Even you can share it with your friends in the other college. As I was going through the website of that GDSC, that you can have students from other colleges as well. Okay, so so in this way you can communicate with not only with students of other colleges, we can share it with the other colleges also. Okay, so so that much from my side. Okay, so thank you everyone, thank you very much. So what I can tell is, if you need any help, anyone, okay, so regarding this club or any other issue, okay, so you can ping me, you can I will help. Okay, so I will try my best to sort out the issue. I can convey your message to the higher authority also. Okay, so thank you everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wise words, and we'll definitely keep your suggestions in mind while organizing future events.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So moving on, we're gonna ask Atheist to come up and tell us about his experience before, because actually, me personally, I came to know about Google's GDSC initiative from Atheist, and he once told me about how he and a few other seniors had been trying to get this club established in years prior to this, and maybe you can share what that journey has been and what's it like for him to see that the club is finally established now. Adisha, can you turn on your camera?
Can you see me?
Not yet.
How do I change the camera settings? Okay, done.
Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry, you have to see me again and again. I think a lot of you. But am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So the journey for the DSC, I mean, basically we had wanted. So I think pandemic in a lot of ways. First of all, before I begin, good evening, sir. Hope you are well. And I hope you remember me.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. So basically, if I just ask you a very simple question, all of you, when do you think this idea of having a tech club started in the students of RCCIIT? When did it start flowing? Can anyone try to answer this? Like, if you can say maybe some year specifically. So this idea has been there since 2012 actually. Okay, so it is not new. It has been, I think, over 9 years since we have wanted. No, not when we guys. This idea has been even before I joined college. When I think I was in class 9 at that point. Anyway, so a lot of people at our college have tried to build some tech communities and everything, but they had not been successful for various reasons. And finally, in this particular year, that is in the session of 2020, 2021 and 21-22 going forward, we have two tech communities now. One of them is RCCIIT, as you might already know, and the other one is the Google sponsored one, that is GDSC, which we are currently attending a session. Anyway, so everything that you are seeing here is kind of an institutional memory, and this is an example that how an institution moves forward. Okay. At this point, when I had graduated in 2020, we didn't really have anything. And now at this point, students have a lot more opportunities, even when everything is online. Now the onus is on the student. Now the onus is on all of you guys who are here to go ahead and take advantage of all the opportunities which are provided to you. Okay. And before this, it was more like, what can college do from their end? Okay. Going forward, it is going to be more and more entrepreneurial. What does that mean? Do all of us start businesses? No. All it means is all of you have more accountability about your future. Okay. Now, sir was raising a very important point about hiring. I work for a company. Like, my company actually builds a SaaS solution for employers all across India and across the world. We are an early stage startup moving towards an unicorn stage. So as someone who works in that domain, I can tell this to you very clearly, that the difference between the skills that these students possess from colleges like ours, from say universities like ours, versus what the employers demand is very high. And the difference is very high for a lot of reasons. One of them is obviously that the world has moved very fast. Okay, say for example, maybe 10 years back, when the IT hiring was on the rise, when TCS and Tech Mahindra and all of these companies were hiring like lakhs of people every year, at that point you just had to pass an aptitude exam and you were hired. Okay, but at this point things are so specialized that unless you have, like, going forward, it is going to become a norm that unless you have some internship experience. What an internship means, that you have worked professionally under an organization maybe for a few months or something, and only then you are going to be hired. Okay, because at the end of the day, you are being hired for who you are. Okay, degrees, as you would read more and more stories over LinkedIn or over Twitter and everything, going forward your degree are going to lose value. Okay, so it is more important the skills that you have than the skills that you acquire. So, but anyway, I'm not saying this that you should not pursue higher studies. Okay, I'm not saying this at any point, But the thing is that both of those things are very different. So anyone who is in first year, anyone who is in second year right now, anyone who is in third year, and they are planning their career forward, it is very important for them to understand where do they see your, like, it is a very simple question which every interviewer asks, okay, and then they expect an answer from you to say, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So this is something that you should already have it in your mind, that this is where I want to be in next 5 years. Okay, so for example, if I graduate in 2020, by 5 years, in next 5 years, I should definitely become a senior engineer at whatever organization I'm working at. Okay, or if you decide to do a master somewhere, be it an MBA, be it an MTech, or in some other domain, say like MBA, law, or whatever you want to do, you might move further into your career. Okay, you might just switch directions, you might just pivot, like you are going to move totally away from the engineering. So anyway, now coming back to the original thing that I wanted to say, the reason any club exists at any institute for that matter is to give you a taste of what professional life sounds like. Okay, what is professional life? That you have to be accountable from day one. You cannot just say, like, deny your work. You cannot say ye aaj nahi hoga, ye kal hoga. You cannot slack off and everything. Also, it tells you that everything that you speak or say or do does matter, is going to come back to you. So any club at any institute for that matter, okay, so ours is a pretty small institute. We have just about, I think, 2,500 students. If you look at the largest of all IITs, they have about like a batch size of over 10,000 and everything, if you comprise all masters and PhDs and everything, and everyone. They have even more clubs than us, like a lot more clubs. Okay, and it is not because they don't have anything to do at their classes or they don't have assignments or something, but it is much more important for any student to learn how the professional work environment works and how do you translate those skills into a professional setting. Okay, even when you are doing anything at college. Okay, say for example, if you are even if you are a part of this particular club, and if you are working in the PR team, so as Gautami had like a very good pitch that like you are going to learn communication skills, right? You are going to know how to present yourself better. You are going to know how to present your ideas better. And if any one of you wishes to work as an engineer in the future, I can tell you with experience that it is very, very important to know what you are doing. Okay, to communicate yourself well, because engineering in itself is a very tough profession. Like, it is not at all easy. It is a very difficult profession to be a part of, first of all, and then secondly, it is very, very technical and very analytical. So I think Shogato has recently done GSOC. Okay, so he's also the first candidate from our college to have completed GSOC, like, ever in the history of college. Okay, so this is a pretty good team you are like who is going to lead you guys. So he would share more of his experience, that why it is even more important when you work as a software engineer, that everything that you do matters. Like, everything that you do has to be spoken out, has to be communicated well. And it does not matter specific only for software engineers. You could be say an instrumentation engineer, or you could be an electrical engineer, but because as engineers you are mainly designing things. Okay, you are not fixing things. That fixing job is for someone else. Okay, you are not going to fix fans and ACs and computers. You are supposed to design software better. You are supposed to improve how things work. You are supposed to design processes so that whatever you are building, whatever you are working on, takes a little less of human time, improves that human life a little more than we already have. So this was for engineering. And the second was, if I go back to the club part, so yeah, this had been there with us since 2012. We had wanted to get this done by 2017, I think, 2018 actually. In 2018, we had a very good batch of seniors and everything who graduated. So a lot of proposals were made and put forward. It wasn't possible. Then in my year, in 2019, we did it again. In 2020, we did it again. For GDSC specifically, we have applied for 3 years straight. That is 2018, 2019, 2020. And none of those years we could get an opportunity, mainly because you need some sources and connections to get this done and everything. And you need that guidance from other people who have already cracked GDSC, right? So this year, thankfully, we had that guidance. Thankfully, we had that opportunity. And thankfully, this is finally here. after GDSC is finally here after a lot of hard work and after a lot of just networking sessions and just like, you know, reviews and everything. So anyway, this would be it, I think, from my side. If you have any further questions about hiring, about say employment, about degrees, like what would you do in future and everything, like you could definitely go forward and ask. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is something that I always end my pitch with. Always know what you want to do. Okay, always like try to figure out, basically spend a couple of years of your college just figuring out what makes you tick. Okay, what feels like, what does not feels like work to you, but you are also good at it. I hope if this translates into your mind, but this is very important, because unless you figure out what is good, because just figure this out. Okay, so when you are going to graduate from college, you are going to be 21, 22 or 23 years old, 25 at max. You still have 35 years to work. So you wouldn't want to spend those 35 years in doing something you don't like. So that college is like you are the guinea pig in the college. Okay, so test yourself as the guinea pig and just explore as much as possible. And clubs like say GDSC, clubs like RCCIIT, and we also have our Rotary Club of RCCIIT. All those clubs give you ample opportunities to be part of different communities and to just explore everything that you can about life, which you cannot do from your home itself. Okay, so this would be it from my end. If there are any further questions, you can share.
All right. Thank you so much, Atishala, for your insights. And now we'll be moving on to reaching towards the end of our event today, and we're gonna open up the Q&A chat for all of you, so you can drop in your questions. The Q&A chat is open. Please make sure you drop your questions in the Q&A chat and not the general chat. It makes it easier for us to pick them up. All right, so I'm going to ask all the core members to switch on their camera and come onto the main stage so that we can pick up all the questions. Any of you can feel free to take a question if you want.
A part of the core team, but I would suggest like let them just do whatever they want to do in the initial phases, and then maybe decide accordingly. Because as Sir had also mentioned, that there is a lot of clutter in the mind, that what exactly would you need going forward to make a career out of whatever you want. For example, say if I want to be a backend developer, so how do I do that? Okay, but if I start doing that, I may not like it. I am more of a mobile person. Okay, I'm more of a say mobile app person, or I am more of a data analyst person. So anyway, this is why all those things matter. Like you just have to explore as much as possible.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And in fact, we are having a policy like that for the club. That I see one of the very common questions in the chat is that is it possible to join more than one team? So I'll just take that up. It's possible to join more than one team, especially in the preliminary phases, as long as you explore and you find what team you want to be a part of for the long run. So, and yes, of course, you can also be in two teams if there are two domains that spark your interest, but make sure that you can manage your time wisely within both the teams that you want to join. So,
and if you want jobs and internships or to get hired, so the first thing that you need to do is like get your projects ready. Okay, so at the end of the day, you are only going to be hired even by companies which are providing internship when you have some experience in that field. Okay, so for example, if I want to be hired as an Android developer, or if I want to intern as an ML engineer, so I must have some basic knowledge of say how ML models work, how can I train a model, what are the different ML models, and how does everything work. Okay, I may not have deployed it to production, but I should know what machine learning is in my mind. Okay, because the problem is these days that a lot of things are very easy to go forward with. Okay, so for example, you would hear a lot of internship stories, like internship or even job interviews, where people are like, "Acha bhaiya, like so I built this in TensorFlow." Okay, what is the project that you are going to give the model a certain photograph, and it will draw a square around every face. Okay, so okay, then the candidate is being asked, what did you do in this? Like, did you write the model yourself? So the candidate says no. So okay, the another question is, what did your algorithm do? Did you draw the squares around the faces? Did you write the algorithm for that? The candidate says no. And what did you do? I ran the TensorFlow library on Google Colab. So things are pretty easy to go forward, but other than that, you need to understand what you are doing. Okay, it is very important. Like, and that is why have good projects. Okay, I think Komagno is from electrical. Yeah, you are from electrical, and for a lot of people who are from electrical or AEI, this is always a question that how should you switch or not. But the problem is that whatever the industry requirements are for, say, electrical or EC or for AEI, that is very different from the academic requirements. Okay, so the first thing is you have to figure out that what are the industry requirements, then train yourself at it, and then maybe go forward with the project.
All right, that sounds great. I saw a question that how we can join the team. Sukanya Dask is asking. So we'll be dropping the contact info for all the team leads. You can get in touch, and also we'll be launching a Discord server today itself, so you can get in touch with anyone, any of the moderators over there, and they'll guide you how to join a team. And apart from this, you can also keep a lookout for any Google Forms that might be circulated in your class groups or in your emails. You can join your teams from there. All right, so moving on to the next question. Someone has asked, where do we get the project ideas? If you mean for your personal projects, you can, I mean, if you want to build a solution to a real life problem around you, I think that's always more preferred. I think Atishada can take this one actually. He's worked on a number of hackathons.
Yeah, so for projects, it is just that you have to start somewhere. Okay, one of the major problems is that people don't know where to start, and that starting is fairly simple but also very difficult. Okay, so first thing that you need to do is just set up your system, just set up Node.js in your system, just set up Django application in your system, just set up Git and GitHub in your system, and just get started. Do something. Okay, don't just sit idle, expect that there is going to be like ekdam Krishna type voice at your head which will tell you that this is the project that you should work on and you are going to be a billionaire. No, start somewhere. Okay, build a simple to-do application, build a simple stopwatch timer, build a simple anything, note-taking app or anything. Just build something. Okay, create something on your own from the scratch, because the problems that you are going to because it is fairly easy to go through a YouTube video entirely to do a certification course. Okay, but it is very difficult to implement it. And even if you change one thing in those YouTube videos or in those certification courses, there is a very high chance your project is not going to work. And that is where you become like that journey, that pursuit makes you an engineer. Okay, it is not that you are not studying humanities, that you are just supposed to read everything then give a conclusion. No, you are supposed to read everything then use it to improve things.
All right, so are there any more questions, guys? Then we'll move on. Soham had asked a question before that my problem is I want to be a member of the CyberSec team, but also have a keen interest in AI and ML too. Is it possible for me to get the study resources of the AI and ML domain while being in the CyberSec? Yeah, look, the resources will be for everyone. All resources, all events that are conducted by the club will be for everyone, irrespective of what team they are a part of, right? And regarding being the part of a team, I just answered that a little while ago, that yes, you can be a part of 2 teams, but it's your responsibility. You have to make sure that you can manage your time between both teams and give your best to both teams. Yes, Neha, you are allowed to switch teams during the initial stages. That's perfectly fine. And Tamagna Dask has asked, and then who to ask for feedback? How do we know how good or bad the project is? How to improve? I think this is a follow-up to the question that Atishada took up. So I'm going to go to him for this one.
Yeah, so it's basically like you have to present it somewhere, okay? Say, get it used. So for example, if I just tell you from, like, okay, recently I think, Ohan, were you a part of the team, the COVID AI team? Okay, so I think recently his batchmates, Ohan's batchmates, created an AI model which could, find the amount of COVID, not exactly amount of COVID, but how severely have your lungs, what to say?
Fluids in lungs, actually.
What in lungs?
The fluids in lungs, the amount of fluid in lungs.
The amount of fluids in lungs which has been affected by COVID. So their model could find it out, okay? And then they just like presented it. They just let it out. They just put it out, okay? And people started using it. Apart from this, there was another batchmate of mine, if you know him, Abhijit Das. He also created something for COVID specifically. He created a helpline sort of a thing where a lot of people, could post their queries and everything. They did it. And also Shoham and Orithro and everyone, they also built something for COVID recently. So that is the way to move forward, okay? At the end of the day, whatever you build, unless people are using it, you are never going to know if it is working or not. It is very easy to create even Snapchat for yourself and share only with yourself and your family members and tell them कि देखो ये बटन को 3 बार क्लिक करने से ही सेंड होता है, ठीक है? But when you put it out to users, that is where you figure out that okay, there are like hundreds of possibilities, okay? Because every device is different, every use case is different, okay? Every work environment is different. Have you ever observed like even batteries are noted with the temperatures they operate in? Because all those things do matter when you are building something hardware, or when you are building something for software, then you have to specify the requirements separately, right? So the simple idea is just build a project and put it out, put it on GitHub, share it with other people, make other people use it, okay? And before you think of a project, I would suggest, okay, once you are, say, like a little veteran in your field, once you know what you are doing, then you can, try making such projects which others are going to use. For example, I created something very stupid and very simple, okay? It is stupid because it was nothing but just, it used simple Python imaging library to write certificates in bulk and email them, okay? And I shared it like in my 3rd year. Since then, it has been run 20,000 times by over 80 colleges of Mahmoud. Okay, so don't be afraid, just do things and put it out. For example, even and also for hackathons, like a lot of you, if you are interested in hackathons, so I have won a hackathon. I have been a semi-finalist at Google's one of the largest hackathons. Okay, it was more for entrepreneurship than for hackathon. But once again, that I would want to tell you is, don't get too focused on winning the hackathon. Okay, focus on learning what you can out of the hackathon. Focus on the feedback that you are going to get from the mentors. Say, for example, in the first hackathon, in the Smart India hackathon that we participated in, our mentors were from like colonels in army. Okay, and then we were trying to solve a problem for logistics. So if any one of you is from defense, or for me, I have been born and brought up in a cantonment, okay? So for me, their insight into how do you solve a logistical problem was huge, okay? Then going forward in the second hackathon, like I'm only talking about where we did very well, okay? There were like tens of others where we did nothing and just ate good food because everything was happening offline back then. Sorry for the burn. So anyway, So for in the second hackathon, my mentors, one of them was, I think, yeah, one of them was a startup founder, runs his own like $1 million company, and the other one was the advocate, like the public relations advocate, developer advocate at Google. Okay, so both these mentors brought their own insight into our project. Okay, our project was some like in the second hackathon, our project was something for e-commerce. And if you have heard of Dunzo, so it was more or something similar to that. Okay, like it was because the hackathon happened before Dunzo was launched. So anyway, so the insights that we got from there were more important to us, and then you can share it forward. Then you can build more connections out of it. So always focus on learning more from people, learning out of their experience. Okay, like also one more thing that I would like to add right here is that anyone you are seeing on the core committee here, all of them are pretty self-motivated. Okay, they are here because they wanted to be here. So I'm not, differentiating between anyone. I'm not separating the groups or batches and anything. But at the end of the day, you have to be a little self-motivated. You have to make that call that at least tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, at least just understand, introspect, and reflect, and then do what you're supposed to do. So, yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to take a couple of more questions and then we'll move on. Diktadip has asked how important it is to upload your project in GitHub. Very. Because I don't clearly know how to operate. So basically, GitHub is where you're going to put up pretty much all of your projects. And also your GitHub profile goes in your CV. So that's what, if you're looking to get employed, that's what your employer is going to look at. And if you don't know how to clearly operate it, that's fine, because we're going to have a session with basics of Git and GitHub very soon. So we're going to have it before Hacktoberfest starts up. So you're going to get, everything's going to be covered in that. So you don't need to worry about that. All right. I think we've covered all the questions today. So I'm going to be closing the Q&A and let's move on. So we've reached the end of the event now, but we still have one more thing left to show all of you. And that's a Discord server for GDSC RCCIIT, where you can connect with your team leads, with the moderators, with anyone, and with amongst yourselves as well. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat to join the Discord server. Right. I've put the link in the chat. Make sure that you join the Discord server right now. And this link will be emailed to all of you guys as well after the session. So you guys can join it and you can invite all your friends to join the server. And we're going to have a little icebreaker session right after this event. So we're going to be just interacting with all of you guys. We're going to play some games and have some fun. So make sure that you join in for that and invite anyone you want to invite. It's open to everyone. And after the event, you will be getting an email with a post-event form, a feedback form, which I'm going to ask all of you to fill, because that gives us an idea about what you guys want, what kind of events you want to see in the future, and what events should we do more of, or is there any way we can help you out, really. So make sure you do that, and I'll see all of you guys in a few minutes in the Discord server. So with that, I conclude the inaugural event for GDSC RCCIIT. As once again, I want to thank all of you for joining in today, because this club doesn't exist without you, right? This is just the beginning, and we're going to grow and we're going to learn over the course of the next year. And I hope we can all do it together, right? So thank you, everyone. And that's the end of the event. So see you guys in Discord. You can start dropping off now. We're going to end the meeting.